Hello and welcome to The Pumpkin Patch Mum. This is a heartwarming and down-to-earth podcast where we dive into the vibrant, busy and sometimes messy life of me, a mum who also happens to be a passionate pumpkin farmer. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of The Pumpkin Patch Mum. So in this episode I'm going to be talking to you all about things harvest. It's a busy time of year on the farm. It's exciting and there's loads to do. And it's also come right in the middle of the summer holidays. So as you can appreciate, it's also a busy time for being a mum. It's harvest day and I've come to the field to check and see what everyone's getting up to and how we're getting on with harvest. So today we're harvesting our wholesale crop. Now our wholesale crop is the crop that we sell across the country throughout the UK to other garden centres, other pumpkin patches, anyone who really sells and buys pumpkins. So as you can probably hear in the field behind me, I've got lots of noise of tractors and all sorts going on. So it's a really busy, fun day on the farm. Harvest is really the most exciting thing we do on the farm. It's really when you see all your efforts of the whole year from planting and nurturing and looking after, it all comes into fruition and we get to see how our crops have done. So today I've got one of our pumpkin pickers here who's going to talk to you about what they do when they're pumpkin picking in the field. So who have I got here?
We have John, student from Essex.
Okay, perfect, John. And is it your first year pumpkin picking here?
This is my first year. Really excited.
And are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's amazing. Good company, good conversations, amazing people to work with. Can't complain.
And did you know that pumpkins were picked like this, or did you think it would have been maybe with a machine, or did you even think about pumpkins before this pumpkin harvest?
I did have a bit of experience picking up, not pumpkins in particular, but other random vegetables. My parents are farmers, so I did have slight understanding, but not to this degree of how pumpkins exactly are picked. This has been quite an interesting endeavor.
And do you like pumpkins? Do you cook with them? Do you carve with them?
We have them seasonally back home. Yeah, I quite enjoy them. We have our own special recipes. Apparently that are not quite as common here, but I do enjoy them.
Perfect, thank you very much. So one of the jobs that we're doing at the moment, as you can hear, it is load the trailer full of pallets, which we are currently taking down to the field where we're going to be harvesting our pumpkins into our cardboard boxes. So for our wholesale crop, we get all of our pumpkins get delivered via cardboard octobins. So they are effectively massive cardboard boxes and they are delivered, they are stacked rather, they are made on pallets and then they are delivered across the UK. So one of the jobs before the men start in the morning is to load the trailer full of the pallets and take it down to the field so that when they get there in the morning, hey presto, we've got pallets and some of the boys can get straight on to making the octobin boxes. So that's what's going on at the moment. Today is one of those days where you logistically have to be on it all the time. So we started the day and there was rain, so we had to go into the wooden potato boxes because they can get wet. It's not a big problem. And now this afternoon, the rain has subsided, so we're moving back onto cardboard. Now what that meant is this morning we had to have everything ready, everything in the barns, everything in the sheds, so that as soon as it was kind of like go, 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 we can move from one to the other. But what that does mean is I'm just coming out to the field just to check that the right pumpkins are being put in the right boxes and what have you. So let's see how the boys are getting on. Today is GCSE day, so my niece has just got her exam results, which is really exciting. So being a pumpkin patch mum means I'm also lucky enough to be a pumpkin patch auntie. And we are a real family orientated business here. So I've just passed my father-in-law in the JCB and he is doing some loading of the pumpkins for me today. So let's see what everyone's doing. So yeah, my father-in-law is loading pumpkins from the field onto the trailer and then storing them in the relevant area so that we know which variety is which, so that when it comes to swelling, I know how many I've got of each size and each variety. Oh, windy today, as you can probably hear. So they're just finishing off the last box for one variety for me. So they've done quite well today. Last year, as you might remember, the weather was awful in August, so we had hardly any sunlight hours. Now that had a real impact on us as pumpkin farmers, because whilst we normally harvest when the weather's good in terms of no rain, so that we can get on the fields with the tractors, we can also then use the cardboard, and that is how we primarily harvest, because it is a manual job. So because of the lack of sunlight hours last year, it meant that the pumpkins weren't getting that vital bit of sunshine right at the end of their growing season. So they literally were not turning orange. So I remember, my husband and I had many sleepless nights wondering whether the pumpkins were going to turn orange.